This game contains adult contents and concepts that are not suitable for minors. You must be at least 18 years of age or older to play this game. I'm 18 plus, but are you? Thank you for downloading Rain Check. This game's currently in development. Oh god, that's going fast. It's a work of fiction, so if I'm in it, it's a coincidence. Okay, last time I wasn't sure. I was surprised that we were a tiger. I didn't know that until like half an hour in. This time I think we're a tiger. I'm gonna guess that up front. There's some subtle clues. Day 1. The Grand Marine Hotel, please. The large fox cranes his head from the driver's seat in front and cocks a brow at me. It's the one on 8th Main Street, I think. He gives me a reaffirming nod and drives off to the airport road. Not to, just the, off the. The drive is quiet. Not much for small talk. I find myself reaching for my phone. Come on. Low battery already? I just charged it. Huh? What's this? 10 notifications from... Oh shit. They're all from Mom. I totally forgot to text her back when I landed. I frantically type out a reply, hoping to minimize the damage I've already done. And... there. Hopefully that's enough to calm her down. I set aside my phone and look out the window. Several dark clouds looming off in the distance. I really hope it doesn't rain, especially when there wasn't enough space to pack an umbrella. Is this your first time visiting? His low voice mixed with a thick Italian accent catches me off guard. Yeah, it is. Is this for the tech convention I keep hearing about? Thai? Yeah, I'm going. Enjoy yourself. I heard it's the biggest it's ever been this year. I'll try. Do you happen to know any cool places to visit while I'm in the city? Huh. Depends on what you like. If you want to see more things like Thai, maybe visit the Open Research Center. Otherwise... Sorry, 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. I pull out my phone and, unsurprisingly, see it's Mom. Hey, Mom, I'm on... I texted you 10 times, why didn't you answer? Do you know how worried I was? I thought something happened to you. No, I'm fine, I just forgot. Theodore, how old are you? You're 23, you're not a child anymore. Please have some responsibility. I'm getting some paradoxes here. You're 23, you're not a child anymore, but I need to know where you are every second because I'm helicoptering, even though you presumably were on a plane? I sigh and give up trying to protest. Okay. That being said, I just want to remind you that I'll be out this week. Yeah, I'll remember. I'll make sure to check up on your emails and bills. Honestly, why couldn't you just stay home after and look after the place? Why go on vacation when you're still unemployed? I already told you. I just wanted to take a break. You've been taking a break ever since you graduated. Mom, you know what I mean. I'm trying my best. You sound just like your father. We've been over this already, okay? I'm already here. So would you lay off? Mom? Huh. She hung up. Was I too harsh? Not really, it sounds brutal. That was a lot. Putting on familial guilt and so on. I put my phone away and bring my attention back to the driver. Sorry about that. Oh, no worries. I understand, Familia. Famiglia? I'm not gonna guess. Yeah, you can say that again. Suddenly, without warning, the entire car is engulfed by a wave of torrential rain. and the highway disappears. Not good. Even with the windshield wipers on max, we're still barely able to see more than a couple of feet in front of us. Watch out! A large truck suddenly appears, but the Fox manages to swerve around before stomping on the brakes. My heart's practically beating out of my chest. Oh my god. Thank God for your reaction time. I've been driving for many years. This is nothing. What's up with the weather? It just started pouring without any warning. Ah, that's right. It's been raining on and off for almost 3 weeks now. We're used to this now. It's been raining like this every day? Sometimes. It is random, so make sure you have an umbrella. Ah! Oh, I didn't bring one. The overpowering sound of the rain interrupts our conversation, making it too loud to continue. That was really loud! Eventually the surge dies off and I see we've made our way out the city. Damn, the streets are flooded. I'm more concerned by this car being empty. Looks like I'm getting the authentic, hectic city experience already. We pass through street after street, heading deeper into the city until I'm greeted by an hourglass-shaped building off in the distance. I'm not used to all this. Back home it's all suburbs, and my college town didn't have much more than the college itself. This bustling city center is on a whole other level. I guess my vacation officially starts now. Alright, we're here. You take it easy, my friend. He makes a sharp turn into the hotel driveway and stops right by the entrance. Thanks. You too. I hop out of the cab, careful not to catch my tail on the door like I often do, and I retrieve my luggage from the trunk. That'd be so upsetting to slam your tail in the door. Make sure you get an umbrella, my friend. When it rains, it pours. He waves me goodbye from inside the car and drives off before I can reply back. Time to head in. I enter the hotel's intimidating gold doors and am immediately blinded by the shiny marble all across the floor and walls. Talk about fancy. After a quick moment of surveying around, I spot the reception desk past a fountain. No line. Great. Time to check in. Good morning, and welcome to the Grand Marine, one of the finest hotels in the world. How may I assist you today, sir? A slender cat in a distinguished suit greets me from behind the counter, his smile suggesting he's the one in charge. Hi, I'd like to check in. Certainly. May I see your ID, please? I dig through my pockets, pull out my wallet, and hand over my driver's license, the one I was proud to snag on my second try due to my old fear of driving. I also took 2 attempts to pass my driving test. First time I took it, I immediately pulled into oncoming traffic. There wasn't any cars there, but it was that direction. I just insanely pulled out of the parking lot, and I guess just out of sheer nerves, I pulled all the way forward onto the wrong side of the street immediately. Like, instead of just turning right, I turned forward right into the oncoming. I had sincerely done the dozens of hours of practice before, so I don't know what, I guess I was just that nervous that it literally, like, I failed the test so badly that you would think I was doing it on purpose to sabotage myself because I didn't want to get a license. Like, and I wonder if my parents stopped that and I was being a pain in the ass or something because of that. I'm like, I don't know. My brain. It sounds insane, especially now, because now I've been driving for 16 years or something, like almost as long as I lived without a driver's license originally as a kid. And so, like, it's just so straightforward and second nature that it's, like, impossible to comprehend how I would make that mistake, but a few dozen hours of experience is not compared to thousands, I guess. Thank you very much. I'll get your registration and check-in process now. Let's see. It appears you're here for the TAI convention, right? Yeah, that's right. Excellent. I've heard great things about this year's event. You're in room 2708, on the 27th floor, in the main block. Here's your ID and keycard. He gives back my license and room keycard. I stole my license in my wallet and slipped the keycard in my pocket. We also need you to sign this form to complete your registration. Sure, I don't mind. The receptionist hands over a clipboard and a pen with a friendly smile. Alright, let's see what we have here. I spend the next little bit flipping through the form, signing on the specified lines. The form's pretty long, but there aren't many parts for me to sign, so I end up finishing it in under a minute. Because I didn't read shit. I'm about to hand it in when I realize that some of the sheets are double-sided. Excuse me. The sudden baritone voice catches me by surprise, and I immediately glance up from the paper. There's a large maroon wolf standing next to me, and for a split second I thought he was talking to me. I try my best to get a good look at the wolf without looking suspicious. He's definitely well built and tall, probably a foot taller than me. It seems like he's trying to get the receptionist's attention instead. Good morning, and welcome to the Grand Marine. How may I assist you today, sir? Good morning. He practically needs to look straight down to talk to the cat behind the counter. Don't stand so close, then, weirdo. You know the list of companies presenting at the convention today, excluding vendors. Ah, you're referring to the Thai convention, correct? Unfortunately, I don't know the specifics. If you'd like, I could speak with my supervisor to find out. If it's taking place here, you think they just have a pamphlet? The convention booklet thing? The company's presenting today? I don't know all of them, but I'm certain I took a screenshot of the scheduling on my phone. I know the company's presenting today. Both the receptionist and Wolf direct their gaze over to me. Suddenly, I feel like I'm regretting my decision to speak up, with all this attention on me. The wolf's gaze lingers on me longer than I'd like. Longer than you'd like? He's looking at you expectantly. You said you had the thing he wants, so he's waiting. You do? Perfect. Do you happen to know if Cypress is here today? Cypress, the company responsible for inventing a revolutionary way to clean up carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Lucky, I had read up about them prior. I'm pretty sure they're presenting tomorrow. I shake my head. No, I saw the scheduling earlier and they'll be here tomorrow. The wolf doesn't seem impressed by my answer. He mutters something to himself before nodding at me, acknowledging my reply. You better not be wrong, or he's gonna destroy you later. Thanks. Okay, I'm not crazy. I was trying to figure out what was going on because there's a dark spot in the middle of the screen. I'm like, why is he dark in the middle? But I think it's just the middle of the bar is dark. There's like a dark streak down the middle. I'm like, does he have like a towel pointing out? But no, he's just got a pointed bulge. The wolf walks over to another counter. Oh yeah, now I can see it there. Yeah. It's kind of on the floor. No, it's separate from the floor. There's just a darker spot in the middle. Yeah. Gradients are really risky. You never know when they're going to render as a weird series of individual slices and so on. The wolf walks over to the other counter, and I take that as my cue to quickly finish up the rest of the form. There. That takes care of that. After placing the pen on the clipboard, I glance up at the receptionist with a faint smile and hand over the completed forms, trying my best not to be awkward. The cat takes the clipboard from me and gestures to my left. Thank you for filling out the form. The elevators for the main block are to your left. I hope you have an enjoyable stay with us, and should you require anything, please do not hesitate to contact us. Have a wonderful day ahead, sir. Thank you. As I'm turning around, I notice something bright on the side of the counter and realize they're brochures. I learned online while killing time before my flight that the hotel has 3 sections, main, west, and north. My room's in the main building, the heart of the complex, connected to 2 smaller, architecturally similar buildings on the north and west, if I remember correctly. I double-checked my brochure to confirm my assumption, and sure enough, I was right. Thankfully, this means less wandering for me. I'll explore more after I've settled in my shed. Settled in and shed my luggage. Settled in my shed. Turning a corner, I find myself among a crowd waiting for the elevators. Thankfully, 6 elevators are running, and the crowd dwindles with each round. My turn finally arrives, and just as I'm about to walk up to to enter, several people rush in and out. Ah! A large bear comes walking out and bumps into me, causing me to lose balance. Rude? I don't mean the bear, I mean you. Why were you just blindly walking up to the opening of an elevator that, like, is in active traffic? People are gonna come out of it. They gotta come out first. That's how that works. Do people even watch where they're going anymore? You need to not crowd the elevator door. You need to let the people come out first. That's how this works, buddy. I look at the ground and notice the contents of my pocket scattered all around the floor. Thank God I was holding onto my suitcase or I would have tripped. The elevator's nearly full now, and everyone's waiting for me. My ears flatten and I can feel them getting warmer by the second. I hastily scoop up my stuff, jam it back into my pocket, and dash into the elevator. Mental note to self: invest in a new jacket, one without gaping pockets. I managed to find myself enough space to squeeze in near the control panel, with the elevator being near full capacity, but somehow it still feels spacious while I'm inside. Located by the elevator buttons directly in front of me, in front of where I had gotten off, there's a small, fancy-looking map of the floor layout. That's what the floor looks like? That's a wild shape. Looks like a bow tie. I look around to see that there's 4 hallways, all equidistant from each other in every cardinal direction. What an interesting design. Let's see. If I'm here, then room 2708 should be... Aha! There it is. I take the hallway across from me on my left and lug my suitcase behind me, hearing the clicks between the grooves of each marble tile. The hallway itself looks really clean and impressive. A little too clean. 2706, 2707. There it is. The first thing I notice when I get to my room is that the fire escape is right across the hall. I take out the key card from my pocket and tap the scanner on the door. There's a soft click and the door automatically slowly opens as it unlocks. I walk into my room and find the light switch. It takes me a second to take everything in, but it's much more grand in person than it appears online. Wow. Hotel suites are nice, but this is next level. Fancy designs all over the foyer floor, glass cabinets, and drawers near the bed. I gotta be honest, I have never arrived at a hotel and had it look as good as the pictures even, let alone better. Like, the photos online always seem to have been of a different hotel completely than the one I end up arriving in, where I'm like, where is this? This is different. This place sucks. This place is trash. I went to the place for the Las Vegas FurCon is held at, and I'm like, okay, I bought a room, and this is the picture that was on the screen when I bought this room, right? So it looks like that picture, right? No, not even remotely. Incredibly generic small room with 1 bed and a couch, and like the one in the picture had like stairs and shit. I'm like, oh, this place is gonna be crazy. Is that why this place is called a resort? No, there's lie. I don't know if it's technically false advertising, but That website layout definitely seemed to imply that I was buying a room that looked like the pictures what was on the screen. That seems like a reasonable guess. And those windows, floor to ceiling, with long black curtains draping down. What a view of the city. If it wasn't for the rain, I'd be out there exploring. Okay, I need to stop geeking out. Charge my phone. I managed to spot an outlet by the curtains of the window and breathe a sigh of relief. Thank God. Digging out my charger from my bag, I plug in my phone. Then it hits me. I haven't seen the bathroom yet. Back at the foyer, I spotted a closed door across from the closet. I walked over and swung the bathroom door open. Holy! The bathroom features glossy black marble walls and floors, and a mirror covers one of the walls. At the other end of the room, there's an enormous bathtub that's the largest I've ever seen. Maybe they should rename this hotel to the Grand Marble instead. I casually toss my jacket onto the bed and choose to unwind for a while. Settling comfortably onto the bed, I begin scrolling through my emails as a way to pass the time. Feeling satisfied by the tidiness of my empty inbox, I reward myself with a good stretch on this ridiculously soft bed. Sure is nice to finally be away from home. Definitely a nice change of pace, but I'll need to get back to job applications when I return. How rich is your family? This place seems way too nice. Like, what? Maybe he is a little spoiled. Ugh. I lean back on the bed and reach out, just barely managing to grab my jacket. Huh. That's strange. My wallet isn't here. Maybe I misplaced it in my pants? You got mugged! Kinda. I don't think the word's mugged when it's not violent or threatened. Whatever. You got pickpocketed. The bear got you. Or you dropped it. I checked my pockets awkwardly, still laying down. Also nothing. Trying not to panic, I quickly get up from the bed. I walk over to my bag and check for my wallet. Nothing as well. You have to be kidding me. This isn't happening. I can feel the panic starting to set in now, even as I'm trying my best to remain calm. Okay, let's see. If my wallet isn't on me, if it's not in my bag, then let me think. Where could I have possibly misplaced it? My ears flatten. I must have dropped it when I was getting on the elevator. That's the only explanation. My whole body tenses up, and I immediately feel a sharp discomfort coming from my stomach. There's a really high chance that it's gone now, huh? But I still need to try. Maybe someone brought it to the counter, or it's still there. Without thinking, I rip the charging cable from my phone, pocket it, and run straight out the room to the elevators. A place this nice with that big of a line for the 6 elevators, there might have been an attendant that was running the crowd, right? Where could it be? The only thing my eyes catch is a wet floor sign placed a couple feet away from where I had my collision earlier. My mind is racing, and I'm starting to sweat. I take a couple of deep breaths to calm myself. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I think about what I should do next, but my mind goes blank. If anyone found my wallet and was kind enough to return it, then it'd probably be at the front desk. It's my only option left, but what if... Hey, it's me from earlier. Huh? I turn around and see the same large wolf from before motioning towards me. You looking for this? The wolf rummages through his pockets and extends his broad right arm out to me, holding something in his large paw. I'm beyond relieved, and I can't help but grin like an idiot. Hey, it's my wallet. Where'd you find it? Over there. He points to the ground by the elevators, but it becomes clear to me I must have dropped it when I was rudely bumped into by blocking the elevator door when it's opening like a prick. I feel like this is an own goal here. He really did this to himself. Here you go. Just make sure you don't lose it again. I let out a nervous laugh and nod back at the wolf. He was keeping his wallet in his jacket pocket? That's just wild. Well, thank you so much. I stand there, blanking out as I don't even know his name. Rue. Rao? Ro? I don't know. Rao. Rao or Rue? Let's check the internet. This is not going to be helpful. Did you...
The following pronunciation.
That's Rue, okay. Unless that's wrong. I don't know. I don't have time to research the culture on the fly. That's something a prepared person might do. Thank you, Rue. You basically saved my life. The wolf shakes his head dismissively. Don't mention it. Your wallet might have some bite marks on it. What? Why? Some psycho tried to swallow your wallet when I told him it wasn't theirs. Almost got coffee thrown at me, too. Rue lets out a small chuckle. Thankfully, his aim was shit. My jaw nearly hits the floor as I process everything the wolf is telling me. Did this really happen? That's insane. They might have been on something now that I'm thinking about it. My eyes grow wide and I'm just left staring at Rue, speechless. But how'd you get it back then? Don't worry about the small details. He's dead now. What? I'm not sure if I should be worried. He pulled out his phone, seemingly checking it before returning his attention to me. I always questioned furry visual novels' love of using the word seemingly or as if, when it's just very obviously that's the action that they're doing. There's not a lot of ambiguity of what someone's doing when they look at their phone. Huh. Yeah, he looked at his phone, seemingly looking at his phone. Anyway, careful not to lose it next time. Take care. Oh, okay. Thank you again. Rue smiles at me, giving me a nod before promptly walking away. What is this, love at first sight? He's super into you. What was his behavior? Rue is a strange person, or he's already a little into Theodore here or something, and like keeping an eye on him, because like Theodore did not go upstairs, realize his wallet was gone, and then come right back down, which itself would take 5-10 minutes because of elevators. He hung out on his bed and unpacked and like stretched out and checked his emails for a while. Like, how long was he up there? Half an hour? An hour? Like, it sounds like he was up there for ages. Just take it to the receptionist. It's lost and found. They can just get it. It's fine. Hey, wait. He stops and turns around. Yes? I don't know why I blurted that out, but it feels wrong to have him just leave without repaying him. Hey, do you want to grab a drink or something? It's on me. I mean, I just want to pay you back for returning my wallet. It's the least I can do. It's fine. I'm running on a tight schedule right now. No, you're not. I just explained why you're not. Anyway, so maybe if we meet again. Oh, okay. Thanks again then, Rue. The wolf waves goodbye to me one last time and disappears down the lobby. I close the door and walk towards my bed, taking a look through my wallet. I let out a big sigh of relief when I see my convention ticket and other IDs safely tucked inside. So he hadn't gone through my wallet after all, at least from what I can tell, except for when he scanned everything and took photos. With all that out of the way, the adrenaline starts to wear off. I'm glad everything's back to normal. Phew. I lay down, closing my eyes as I take a moment to relax. Checking the time on my phone, I realize I've got an hour before the public opening. Perfect. I can explore around. Learning my lesson, I secure my wallet and tuck my phone and keycard into my other pocket. Just as I'm about to head out, I remember the brochure. Swiftly retrieving my jacket, I'm finally ready to go. I never really liked traveling, but I'm hoping to change that this week. I take out the brochure and glance over it. The lobby, gardens, restaurant, pool, terrace, and casino are all highlighted. Maybe I'll skip the less appealing spots, knowing time's limited. I'll start at the lobby since I'm already here, then head to the gardens. Let's see where the day leads. Around me, the lobby's corners are graced with sleek sofas, each circled by some fancy kiosk. I notice someone by a kiosk off in the distance. It starts moving. Maybe scanning? Pretty neat. Curiosity piqued, I find an empty one on the far side. As I approach, thinking of giving it a try, a robotic voice suddenly springs from the kiosk. Hello. I stare at the screen illuminated in blue light. Several apps load up and display the main menu. Hi? There's some hesitation in my voice, as I don't see any obvious microphone near the machine for me to speak into. Now that I'm closer up, I notice the display is a large, reflective LED panel of some sorts. This lobby's already so bright from the white marble everywhere, and now the panel's trying to blind me too. How may I assist you today? What can you do? I can perform various functions. I can play music, display local traffic, show the latest news. Honestly, I didn't expect the kiosk to speak this coherently. The voice recognition is also impressive. I haven't noticed any issues with it interpreting my speech as of yet. The machine continues to list off various other features, but I pick up the words scan biometrics at the end. What exactly is scan biometrics? My entire body is scanned with infrared light. The entire body is scanned with infrared light, UV light, and proprietary technology from binodal visions. I am able to give readings on your heart rate, stress levels, brain activity, and general health diagnostics. The scan is roughly 99.9999% accurate and has been used in hospitals to aid physicians. Please note that it is still currently under development in order to improve efficiency. Efficacy, that's the word. Please also keep in mind that such functionality should not be a substitute for seeking medical attention or advice. There's no way a flimsy, oversized monitor could give such detailed readings, right? I mean, a monitor is just a screen. But then again, I haven't been in the loop for a while. Still, I'm rather curious to see what this robot has to tell me. Here goes nothing. Length, 7 inches. Girth, no. Could you give me a reading? Certainly. Please remain completely still as I perform a general scan. The kiosk moves and tilts back on its own and actually catches me by surprise. I didn't notice until now, but there are 5 tiny cameras on the top of the screen that all seem to be powered on. I remain completely still while looking at the machine with a mix of fascination and awe. Though, I'm not sure what to expect, because it seems like nothing's happening at all. Several of the cameras start glowing a deep blue and disappears as soon as it comes. Cameras start glowing a deep blue and disappears. Okay, that's a typo somewhere in there. One of those words is definitely wrong. Those don't add up to the same tense or something. This might be the UV light the kiosk mentioned. Ah! Oh, that was louder than I thought it'd be. The screen on the machine flashes a faint green. I can hear a faint whirring sound coming from the kiosk before it silences itself. I've never really had a medical checkup like this before in my life. Having it performed by a machine makes me somewhat nervous for some reason. You just ask to get TSA'd in public. Like, what embarrassing information is about to just start shouting out loud when it's supposed to be confidential? I can see some downsides to this approach. Biometric scan complete. You are a bottom. That was fast. Maybe it even took more than a minute. It barely took even more than a minute. A large part of me is curious to know what the results are, but at the same time, I'm nervous to hear any bad news. I'm falling apart. General health diagnosis, fair. Heart and brain functions are substantial. Stress levels are high but decreasing. Please continue to monitor fat levels. It is recommended to get at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise a day to maintain a healthy body and lose weight, as your body fat concentration is above average for your species. Report finished. What? Did you just call me fat? Negative. What do you mean monitor fat levels? The screen suddenly turns off and I stare in disbelief. Hey! I tap on the screen, but it refuses to turn on. Well then, that was something. I've heard of nodal vision before, but I didn't know they actually made technology like this. I'm not too keen on exploring the rest of the lobby after this. Guess I should check out the gardens now. From what I read, the garden is one of the main attractions of the hotel that everyone has checked out at least once. I still can't believe they have plants from all over the world. That sounds illegal. That sounds extremely illegal. There are so many rules about not bringing plants across country lines. At least that's what I read anyway. I walk past the registration desk and the elevators, towards a long and wide hallway with a large ceiling overhead. Fortunately, I don't wander around for long. A sign points to the direction of the garden down the hall. 2 large glass doors lead directly outside. This looks promising. The garden, bursting with an abundance of flowers and plants in the planters, rivals the size of the main lobby. It's clear why they call this place the Flower Meadows of the Nation. Stepping in, the air changes, warmer and damper, just like a rainforest. Above me, rain falling on a huge glass dome, maybe 2 or 3 floors up. I was going to check the rain. I was going to check the opposite section, but not in this weather. Instead, I decided to trek around a small maze present at the center. As I walk around, I walk into a family admiring some flowers along the way. Huh. How nostalgic. Seeing this family, lost in the beauty of these flowers, takes me back. It's like a bridge to my own past, to the days at the garden center with my parents. Orchids, scattered throughout, draw my attention. Dad's preferred flowers. His presence feels almost tangible among them. His passing changed everything. The garden center became abandoned because of it. And Mom, she's so different now. Always worried and anxious over everything. I've gotten used to living without him, but recently, life has been making his loss feel sharper than ever. Mom becoming so aggressive to me lately. I just needed a break from home. But this garden reminds me of the simpler times. I could stand here all day. I really shouldn't be ruminating like this. What am I on, some kind of vacation? I'm on a vacation. I should be enjoying myself. Hi. Excuse me. Huh? I turn around to find a meek-looking reindeer standing next to me, gazing over some flowers in front of us. He's just a little guy. He's a lot shorter than me, and most of his height comes from his antlers. He stops and turns to look at me. Do you know what kind of flowers those are? The ones in the back there. He points to the patch of flowers that I had spotted a bit earlier. Oh, those? Those are orchids. Orchids, huh? Cool. He pulls out a phone from his pocket and snaps some photos of the orchids. Oh, what about these? There's a patch of brightly colored flowers off in the distance that the reindeer's pointing at. Those... I think those are dahlias. Neat! The reindeer is back to aggressively taking photos. I admire his enthusiasm. Hey, how do you know so much about these flowers anyway? You some kind of gardener? Or, oh, let me guess, you work here. No, I don't work here. I don't really know that much, honestly. I just picked it up as a kid. Nah, no way. You definitely know way more than people I tried asking earlier. You named 2 flowers. Not knowing how to continue the conversation, I give him a nod and decide to walk over to another part of the garden. Hey, Mr. Gardner. I need your assistant. It's an emergency. What? Please, please, please. I want to be in a shot next to all these tall flowers. He points over to a patch that I could only guess were the... Whoa. Delphiniums? Delphiniums. I've never seen that word before. Here. He walks over and hands me his phone with the camera already switched on. Okay. Sure. The reindeer strikes one of those cool model-like poses and grins at me. I point to the phone at him and take a couple of photos. There you go. I hope that'll do. He hops over and takes his phone back, carefully examining the photos I took. Generous angle, strong composition. Yes, yes. The height from where these photos were taken are from perfect. Yes, these are amazing. Thank you so much. You should be a photographer, Mr. Gardner photographer. I'll definitely be using these for my magazine catalog. Oh, you have a magazine catalog? Yep, that's right. Well, actually, it's my dad's, but I've been helping him run it for the past year now. It's got nature, city, architecture, landscapes, you name it. Gotta make the big bucks somehow. Here, take one of my business cards. He rummages through one of the hoodie pockets and fishes out a sleek, white-looking cardstock. He hands it over to me, and I take a quick glance at it before quickly pocketing away. David Latrix, Nodal Magazines. Wait, Nodal Magazines? Don't tell me your dad's Nodal Lyrics. Not all lyrics, haha. The one and only. He puffs out his chest as he says that. You know, I was supposed to be supervising some setup at the convention hall, but I got bored. I'm not that interested in all this technology stuff, so I decided to come by and take some photos. What are the chances I'd bump into someone like him out here of all places? The place where the convention's happening, where they're attending, that you know they're at. It's like me going to a furry convention and then seeing Bray burned there and being like, what are the chances? Oh my god. Is that Nonstop Pup? Wow, it's crazy to see him here of all places. The place where they make a living. Speaking of which though, I should probably get back to the convention hall. They don't know that I'm gone. Bye for now. Me going to MFF and be like, wow, it's Jericho from Remember the Flowers. Here in my hotel room of all places. What are the chances? And he's just like, we're staying together. We reserved this room. Are you okay? Oh, that's right. I didn't get your name, Mr. Gardner photographer. It's Theodore. Well, thanks again for your wisdom and help, Theodore. Hey, you know what? Come by my dad's keynote later this week if you're still around, and show them that business card. They'll know what to do. Bye now. Imagine feeling the need to give somebody weird interconnections because they took one cell phone photo for you. Wait, what will they do? If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Well, looks like I got something to look forward to later this week. The Z job. I can't say I really expected that, but I guess I technically met a celebrity. What an interesting little guy. You only found him interesting after he told you he was important. Before that, you found him annoying and tried to leave. I wander around the garden, eyes barely skimming the plants and flowers. Feels surreal that I finally have time for myself. No more job hunting, no more nagging mom, no more anything. Just a week to myself. This is therapeutic. I leave the tranquility of the garden, making my way back to the lobby. The humid air in the garden has started to lull me into drowsiness, so the cool air of the lobby serves as a welcome wake-up call. I still have some time to kill. Maybe I'll check out the restaurant I saw. I flip open the brochure once more, scanning until I spot the escapade. The photo shows a pianist and a cellist playing in the corner, underneath the bright, linear row of pendant lights hanging from the ceiling. Pretty fancy. I don't feel hungry at the moment, and if I it's getting a little late, sorry. But even if I did, a place this posh wouldn't be my first pick for a meal. I need to stop recording these Thursday night when I'm already after other things because I put it off and then I'm like, oh crap, other stuff came up and now it's really late. What am I doing? Still, I wouldn't mind taking a look around, snapping a few pictures to show off later. Why not? I'll go check it out. Where am I? This looks completely different from the rest of the hotel. Completely empty, too. I walk over to the restaurant door and see that they're closed. I spot a promotional sign to the side. Steak and bourbon. Special. $1.99. Who the hell spends $200 for 8 ounces of steak? I'm good. Well, this place is obviously not for me. Time to get going. I take out my phone and snap a couple quick photos of the area. These would make good postcards, if you are keen to sell postcards of places that you don't own. Excuse me, sir. A low voice echoes behind me. Their tone sounds inquisitory, with a strange accent I've never heard before. I turn around to see a Great Dane in a dapper-looking suit poke out of the corner. Pardon me, is there something I may assist you with? I saw you through the doors just now. Reservations are mainly done online, but I can make reservations for you in person. The restaurant opens shortly for lunch. Could I interest you in that? Hi, no, it's fine. I'm just admiring the decor. The staff nods at me for a couple seconds, as if he's still processing what I just said to him. He stares at me. He opens his mouth for a second, about to say something until he clears his throat. Very well. His gaze lingers on me longer than I'd like, before bowing and disappearing back inside. What was that about? Do I look too poor to afford food here or something? On second thought, that's probably true, but still. Whatever. I've seen enough. Off to the convention. I should make my way down and through a connecting sky bridge. I find myself at a set of elevators. Looks like I need to go down. Just as I'm walking up to call my elevator, one promptly arrives with a group of felines pushing a heavy cart out. There's several large cylinders on the cart, and they'll stare at me as they exit. Looks like a bunch of workers trying to transport something, but something feels off. Hey, buddy? Sorry, no service in the elevators right now. Closed for construction. Smooth. Now no one will question what I'm saying. I feel like the tons of rain that happened recently over the last few days, that's apparently a thing that's happening, is being caused by the technology at the convention, because I feel like some sci-fi shit's happening. So this sounds like the beginning of a conspiracy thing to me. The group look amongst themselves before returning their gaze on me. Oh, okay. Do you know how long the construction's going to last? I mean, it's usually long enough that's going to be not a thing you can wait for. The tiger snarls and points in a general direction behind me. No. You can go through that staircase there. All right then. Thanks. I awkwardly thank the group with a small wave and make my way to the staircase as the rest just watch. Well, that was strange. And rude. Curious what kind of construction they would be doing, though. They're hiding something. It's also just weird for everyone to stare at some random person that has no reason to be onto them. Oh, wow. The lobby's way more open than I expected. Kind of has an airport vibe. I was about to say this looks like an airport. Like, just literally an airport. There's this cool Thai sculpture, glowing white. Looking pretty high-tech. The place is buzzing with all sorts of people gearing up for the convention. I'm starting to really appreciate having this pass. Looking around, I see doors leading to different halls. As a crowd floods in, I quickly check my phone to see... Oh. To find, Sonu 6's keynote in Hall A. Oh no, my phone's almost dead. Guess I'll just bite the bullet for now. Spotting the opening on Sanusik sign and the growing line, I head towards the much shorter queue for pass holders. You didn't even charge your phone while you were checking your emails, doing nothing? You fool. You fool. Just a rookie mistake. Alright. Can't wait to see what kind of innovative tech's being developed these days. Fancy seeing you here. Still have your wallet? I look over my shoulder to see Rue standing right over the line dividers. He's looking at me with the same smile as before. Didn't expect to see Rue here at all, but I'm pleasantly surprised. You didn't expect to see him at the convention that he said he was going to? Hey, Rue. I didn't know you'd be here. He literally asked you about somebody that was going to have a panel at this convention, or some kind of scheduled thing. Rue's place looks surprised as I am, but before he shrugs at me. Was looking for someone that might be here. Rue looks at me, then at the long line I'm currently in. What's this line for? This? Just lining up for Sanusix's opening presentation. I look down at my phone to read the time, then back to him. They'll be starting soon. I can see his face looking somewhat confused. Some kind of presentation? Yeah, it is. Are you here for the tech convention? He takes a quick glance around the lobby, then back to me. No, not really. Ah, that's right. You said you were interested in Cyprus earlier. Correct. Oh, I see. Then you know about this convention, right? Rue slowly nods his head. I think Theodore might be a little dumb. Just enough. I read about it in the news at some point. Not here to attend the convention, but wish I could. Maybe. The gadgets and stuff sound cool. Wait, isn't my convention pass good for 3? Because of the promotional offer I got? The least I could do is ask him if he's interested in joining me. Especially for trading my wallet. Anyway. The large wolf looks down at his phone and back at me with a grin. Gonna get going now. It was nice bumping into you again, though. He gives me a small grin and starts to walk off, but I stop him just in time. Hey, before you go, I wanted to ask if you're interested in joining me for this opening panel? I pull out the convention pass from my pocket and flash it in front of him. Rue's face looks surprised for a split second. I didn't expect that from him. It quickly changes back to the same neutral expression he'd been doing, though. Tempting, but no. I'm going to be busy in about an hour, when this building explodes or whatever the fuck's being built up to in the background. What the hell are you waving, your lucky lottery ticket? No, that's perfect then. The website's scheduling says the presentation's 40 minutes. And as for the tickets, I wave the convention pass in my paw. Luckily, I got a promotional deal, so you can come along. Rue crosses his arms and cocks a brow. He gives me a smirk which turns into a toothy smile. Oh, well that's convenient. You're saying you're able to get me in or something? That's exactly it. You don't have to join me, but hey. I stumble over my words. You helped me find my wallet. It's the least I could do. Listen, I just get really flustered when I have to look up at someone. Besides, the ticket I have doesn't cost me anything for you to come with me. Only if you have time, though. Rue takes a look at my pass, then looks like he's about to say something, but then sighs. Not sure if I can. I'm still trying to look for someone. That reminds me, 1 second. He takes out his phone and stares at his screen, his eyes squinting at first, then widening. He pokes at the tiny phone in his paw for a second before shaking his head. There's a look of disappointment, but it changes quickly back to a small grin, and he looks right back at me. He mumbles something to himself, which I'm barely able to make out. I guess this could work. Well, good news. Looks like I can join you. I'll take you up on your offer since you're so persistent on it. He puts his phone away in his pocket and looks somewhere behind me. That's when I realize Rue's looking at the lineup instead. I look back and see that the line at this point has basically doubled in size. The regular line beside me is stretching so far off I can't even tell where it ends anymore. Really? That's great then. I decide not to ask him about what he read or why the sudden change of mind, assuming that he'd tell me anyway if he wanted to share. I try gesturing to him with a paw, pointing to myself, then the back of the line. We can wait at the back of the line. The line I'm currently in doesn't seem to have that The large wolf suddenly grabs the line dividers with his large paw and cuts right in front of me. There. He gives me a mischievous grin and raises his brow like he'd been caught. For a moment, I'm not sure what to do. I look around to see if anyone noticed, and luckily, no one has. Or if they have, they didn't really seem to care. I mean, if you're with each other, then it's usually not that wild to join each other mid-line. I don't know if anyone's gonna not notice an 8 or 9 foot tall wolf just wander in. Unless that's normal. I don't have a lot of scale for what everyone looks like, to be honest. Finally, I find the right words and whisper to him. I think we should go back to the back of the line. We can't have you cutting. Rue looks at me with a playful smirk and shrugs. He looks towards the back of the line and then back to me. What? Just doing what everyone else is doing. He points to a couple of people not far from us with his large paw, and it's clear that they're cutting into the line too. I guess you have a point, but still. Don't worry about it. Why don't you tell me more about what we're lining up for anyway? Oh, sure. So, have you heard of the company called Sonusix? No. Well, this is gonna be weird then. Oh, well, do you know how an ultrasound works? Not exactly, so feel free to explain it to me. So there's this device called a transducer that emits sound waves into your body. It gets reflected and collected in the image and produced on the computer. Right, so it produces an image with sound. Is that what Sonusix develops? Yeah, they do a lot of stuff with ultrasound, but recently they've hinted at a big breakthrough. Seems like they might be doing something more than just sound stuff now. Okay, so what about it? What do you mean? Well, you said Sonusix, what Sonusix is, but what exactly is the panel about? Oh, right. They're showing off one of their latest products. It's supposed to be the grand reveal. I'm surprised the details weren't leaked. Is that it? What about the company history? I'm not sure. I admit I don't know too much about them. Just skimmed through their wiki article the other day. It's like being prodded like he's an NPC being prodded for all of his information tree. Rue's the first one to notice the line moving as he motions his head towards it. Looks like we're done waiting. The line's moving. I almost lose sight of where he is by the time he finishes his sentence. How the hell did he move so fast? It's famously easy to vanish when you're waiting in line. Hey, wait up. I need to show them the pass. We enter the dim auditorium, guided by ground-embedded white LED strips. Keeping pace with Rue's long strides in the semi-darkness proves challenging, especially as his sizable figure obscures the little light ahead. That looks promising. He points to some machinery on stage that resembles something like a giant laser gun, for lack of better words. Actually, why is that there? I'm not sure, but we do need to figure out where to sit. Do you have a preference on that? Top or bottom of the auditorium? More of a switch? Rue raised his eyebrows at the question. Top, of course. I mean, look at me. What about you? Personally don't mind, though. Well... Wait. This sounds like we're implying the same thing, essentially. Top? Actually, sure. I wouldn't mind sitting at the backup for this one. It'd be nice to have a wider view of what the laser can do anyway. And not get blinded by some billionaire's wild experiments. Rue chuckles and grins at me. Perfect. I love being at the back. Good place to catch some Z's. I'm so confused by this guy's motivation. I feel like he's got to be here for ulterior motives, and that would explain most of his behavior, because he does not seem to know or care about anything that's happening, but he's just joining in. And he's clearly up to something in the background. Rue's already striding up the stairs towards the back, his size requiring him to cover multiple steps at once. My pace lags behind, as if he's effortlessly several steps ahead of me. Upon reaching the top, Rue halts, his gaze settling on the seats in the farthest aisle. Over here looks good. Rue casually points in the middle of an empty row, then starts shimmying through the seats, his tail swishing amusingly. This back row's got a clear view of the stage, but the sound is muffled. Good thing there's a screen streaming the action up high. He plops down in the middle, and I slide into the seat beside him, the cushion swallowing me up. The initial buzz of excitement is wearing off, leaving a wave of tiredness. I thought I was tired. You good? Oh. Yeah. I'm fine. Just a bit exhausted. I give a weak smile back to Rue, who's now looking over at me. I didn't even realize I dozed off there. Sitting back here is pretty cozy. The sound is pretty muffled, it's dark, and the seat's so comfy. Rue gives me a look. Well, if you're gonna take a nap, maybe I should too. I don't understand this guy's logic. Didn't get much sleep last night, had to deal with a bunch of shit. Oh, I mean, I wasn't gonna take... You can take a nap if you want. I'm just kidding. Besides, I'm interested in seeing what the hell the laser does. Being somewhat flustered, I readjust myself in my seat, making sure I'm not comfortable enough to doze off again. I spend the next short while taking pictures and looking around the auditorium, watching it fill up. We wait for what seems like a couple of minutes before the lights on stage start to brighten and the spotlights aimed at the stage turn on. A hare dressed in rather snazzy looking sweater comes onto the stage with a mic in their paw. If I had to guess, he's going to be our MC.
Welcome to Sauna 6's opening keynote. I hope you're excited for what we have in store for you today.
The speaker starts introducing themselves and the company. Seems like standard protocol. They haven't addressed the large laser-like thing on stage yet, though. A bunch of other employees come out on stage and start introducing themselves as well. They turn to the laser and start explaining its functionality.
So I'm sure most of you are wondering what this machine behind us is. This laser, in fact, is our latest innovation. It uses light and sound to see objects in walls. Like a camera.
The employees help swivel the laser to aim it at the back of the stage where the curtains are. The hare presses a button and the machine starts rumbling. Like an idling car. A faint glow reveals silhouettes behind the curtains, staff members moving and waving. As the curtain opens, the group is revealed, still waving, and the glow slowly fades away. There's a short gasp in the audience, followed by some cheering and clapping. It seems like everyone's pretty impressed by the demonstration, including myself. I don't think I've seen anything like this before. Naturally, I start clapping along with the audience. There's a short intermission now, so I sneak a glance at Rue, half expecting him to be asleep. Instead, he leans forward, his gaze fixed on the screen. How is it so far? What do you think? Hey. He gives me a smile before he scratches his head. It's alright. Although? You notice anything funny when they turned on that laser? As I did. Nothing immediately comes to mind as I think back to what we just saw. No, not really. What did you notice? He mumbles something incoherent underneath his breath. Never mind. He nudges his head towards the stage and leans back into his chair. Break time's over. I'm tempted to press him on what he saw, but it's probably nothing. It's only a 40-minute thing. How does an intermission? Looking back on stage, I can see the hair along with some other staff members walking back up. The keynote continues, and they resume the presentation, discussing future products and things to look forward to. This segment seems pretty dry. Most of the details just fly over my head. You're here for this stuff. And that concludes the keynote. I need water. Sorry. Damn.
And that concludes the keynote. We have several other panels lined up this week, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you, everyone, once again. We hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
The lights slowly turn back on, but still too dim to make things out around me. Rue gets up first and stretches his back with a loud yawn. From where I'm seated, he practically is towering over me. Honestly, for someone who's never heard about this company, it was pretty decent. Good to hear. I think I'm going to do some more research when I get home. I follow his lead and get up to stretch my back. I hear something clatter onto the floor as I pick myself up from my seat. Rue and I stop moving. At first, I'm not sure what the noise is, but after checking my pockets, it's my phone. Rue and I exchange glances. Your phone. Crap, but could you help me find it? We both look on the ground, searching for my hopefully not cracked phone. Oh no, they're out of sight. Now the villains are going to reveal the secret of the laser because they think the auditorium's empty. So wacky. Even though the lights have turned back on, the back section here is still dim. I don't even know where to begin looking. Probably down where you're standing. Luckily, in less than a couple of seconds, Rue points to a spot in front of me. I think I found it. Here. He squats down with his paws on the ground, taking a closer look through the gaps made by the seats in front. Too tight. Rue motions his arm towards the gap and shakes his head. He gets back up on his feet and turns on the flashlight on his phone. Don't think my arm can fit through that gap. Think you can get on your knees? Oh. Think I can go the other side and get it that way? He leans over the other row of seats in front of us and examines the ground and looks back at me. You're gonna have a bad time. It's closer to us here than it is there. I don't have much of a choice then. I force a chuckle out as I kneel down for a better view. The view doesn't improve, so I get on all fours, trying my best to peek through the gap between the chairs. Do you use your phone to help shine a light through this gap? Let me see what I can do. He aims the light at the small opening in front of me. At the same time, I try to lower my body even more, attempting to feel the ground for my phone. Good. Carefully, I pull my arm back out of the gap and turn to face him. Actually, could you give me your phone for a second? Maybe I can get a better angle if I had the light in my other paw. How did you get it this lost? How did you do this? It's kind of difficult to turn my head in this position, but I can hear his footsteps stop beside me. Here. I can suddenly feel the sensation of cold metal against my right paw. For a second there, I thought it was going to be like against the back of my neck. Thanks. I think I almost got it. Don't drop the other phone, please. I'm going to be so embarrassed for you. The position I'm in is starting to feel more and more tense, and I readjust myself. This time I'm practically laying on the floor. While the light is helping out, there's still a blind spot created by the decline in the flooring. I don't see or feel my phone at all. The thought of asking someone in front to help us did cross my mind, but at this point, I'm too invested. Just as I'm about to get up and try my luck on the other side, Rue's voice interrupts me. Left. More to the left. You sure? I can barely see anything. positive. I do as he says, and after practically wiping the floor clean with my paw, I could feel something smooth and cold. I'm just imagining it's like grody theater seat stuff. I'm like, no, stop touching everything. There. Oh, thank God, my shoulder was starting to cramp. With my paw now on top of my phone, I managed to grab onto it. Despite the awkward angle, I'm able to slowly back out my arm. Need help getting up? I think I should be okay. I shift my weight around on the ground, trying to give myself enough room to get up. That was pretty annoying. I hope my... Oh, whoa. Would you like a new angle on the man? I'm about to rise when I find Rue towering above me. In the scant light, my gaze inadvertently falls to his crotch. I'm not sure if it's the lighting or the angle, but from the way he's standing, his bulge is extremely pronounced. No, it always is. It always is. He's got so much bulge. Particularly towards his right thigh. Wait, really? Is that supposed to be more? Flustered, I quickly avert my gaze, feeling the heat rise in my face. I'm sorry, is he hard right now? That doesn't usually quite go that way. Oh God. I'm completely certain he'll notice the intense blush on my face right now, even though we have fur. Hey, you good? It's like, I don't know, maybe it's the lighting, but well, I can't really call it his bulge now. His entire bottom half has vanished in the darkness. Didn't pull a muscle or anything, right? I'm completely oblivious about my physicality. I'm the gay furry equivalent of the girl next door that doesn't know she's hot. I didn't know he would be that close to me. Was he standing that close to me all this time? There's a hint of concern in his voice. I would be concerned too if I saw someone snap their head back down to the ground and tense up. Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. I slowly get back on my knees before recovering my balance and stand back up, making sure not to make eye contact with Rue as I get up. Hey, everything alright? Oh, no, I'm fine. With my face still warm, I try to act as casually as possible as I pat the dust off my body. I definitely didn't just have my face 2 feet from another man's crotch. Nope, not me. Rue tilts his head and studies me for a second before giving me a slow nod. How's the phone? I'd completely forgotten about my phone. I dropped it again. Naturally, I bring my phone out to inspect it as Rue diligently stares. I think... I inspect my phone all around with my paw, making sure there's no cracks in the screen. Everything seems to be fine. I don't feel any new scratches either. Perfect. Let's go. The walk back out proves to be more difficult than expected. With this many people, it's going to be hard navigating around. Hey, you know what? That was pretty interesting. Thanks. Bolt check. It literally hangs down. Forward and down with a wrinkle. Jesus Christ. Thanks. Oh, no problem. It's the least I could do, really. He returns back a small nod and proceeds to pull out his phone. Well, anyways, I should get going. You're here for the convention, right? Maybe I'll see you around. Yeah, here for the whole week. I chuckle, not really sure what else to say. Sounds like he's going to be here too. I wonder if he lives around here or something. Part of me really wants to know, but I refrain myself from being too nosy. Well, okay then, I'll see you around. The vibe he gives me is Hitman. He looks like he kills people, and there's little hints of weird shit going on that I'm like, is that where this is going? Take care. And just like that, he's gone. Not sure where, but that's none of my business. All in all, I think that was fun, despite that particular homosexual interaction. It's not every day this gets to happen to me anyway. Look at all the goofy people! Ah, it's a crowd shot of humans and they drew little animal heads and tails on everybody. Oh my god. Man, my legs are killing me. I've been trotting around the convention area for the past hour now. The first half is pretty exciting, actually. Seeing all the booths and whatnot, especially the ones with a live demonstration. Then at some point after, I realized I had made a full lap around the hall, and I've just been walking around aimlessly since. The problem here is that we're playing as the character who isn't as interesting, when, like, Rue is clearly up to shit, and we just want to know where he went and what he's doing now. I need to sit down. I scout the area for a place to sit and managed to spot a couple of vacant benches over in the distance. Ah, my legs. I quickly check my phone for the time and realize that the battery has drained substantially since the keynote. Substantially since being almost dead before the keynote? Damn, 13%, huh? I should be okay if I refrain from using it for the next little bit. I don't like the idea of going back to my room just to charge it. It just feels like a waste of time. I decided to get a couple of minutes of rest. As far as I know, he has nothing about him being on the strip requires a phone, so he could just stop using it, and then he's good. There aren't any other booths to explore here, plus the more interesting presentations happen tomorrow. He didn't even exchange numbers with Rue. What to do? Suddenly I remember the brochure that I'd stuffed away in my pockets. Maybe I should check out something listed in here, someplace I haven't been yet. I studied the brochure, letting my eyes bounce between the images until a picture of the coolly lit casino catches my eye. This looks interesting. I've always wanted to check out a casino. Don't. Not that I would gamble or anything, but the allure of what is essentially an arcade for adults always fascinated me. Just go to an arcade. Just any arcade's an arcade for adults. You can't be like video games are for kids when this is the video game. We're playing a video game. This is a video game for adults. It's got a penis, probably. Okay then, I made up my mind. Off to the casino I go. The trek to the casino takes longer than expected. Didn't expect the convention lobby to be that packed. Though, it's pretty straightforward to get here. There's even a dedicated button in the elevator to go right to the casino. I make my way to the 66th floor and quickly notice the floor's layout is completely different. It's a lot more open. I start walking around and approach what looks like an entrance with velvet ropes, but I'm quickly stopped by security. Welcome. If you want to get in, I'm gonna need to scan your key card. The security officer's voice comes off stern, and I give him a nervous smile to take out my key card. I get a look at him, and he's a large polar bear. Probably in his late 50s. He's almost the same height as Rue. Maybe a little shorter? Can't help but notice the shiny name tag tacked onto his uniform with the name Christopher printed on it, and his lack of bulge. Being covered in black from head to toe, his uniform looks even sturdier and more impressive than the security I saw at the airport. I guess they take things very seriously here. Or they take appearances seriously. It's intimidating, but I try my best to remain calm. Right, sure thing. I hand over my key card and he runs it through a scanner in his paws. There's an indicator light that turns green on the scanner. You're good. Have fun, kid. I'm by definition not a kid. That's how this works. The security guard gives me back my key card, and I continue making my way to the casino. I swear I can feel his eyes in the back of my head, but I don't turn around to check. I pick up the pace, trying to get as far into the casino as I possibly can. Even though this is the first casino I've ever been in, I think it's quite colorful. Loud. Really loud. Most of the noise is coming from the slot machines. There's rows and rows of them being played in this section of the casino. I navigate away to a different part of the casino, hoping it'll be more quiet. That ends in failure as I stumble into a section with tables playing roulettes and poker. There are at least 5 games going on in tandem, and the clicking coming from the roulette drowns out most of the other noises around. It's quite a sight to take in, but maybe coming to the casino isn't such a good idea. There doesn't seem to be anything that catches my eye yet, besides the decor. I take a quick look around, checking for anything cool until I spot a familiar figure by a poker table. Is that Rue? Walking a bit closer, there's no mistaking the broad figure from behind. Isn't this literally the next place we went after splitting up with him? Looks like he's in the middle of a game. Raise 500. Call. A voice rings out from the other side of the table. It belongs to a shoddy-looking leopard. That's just mean to say about someone, to think about someone. Sitting hunched over, their eyes glaring at Rue. Raise 250. I'm not exactly sure how poker works, but I know enough to tell that Rue has some momentum. All in. The leopard's demeanor looks a lot more agitated and aggressive now. I don't think that's what a poker face is. All in, bud. Several glances are exchanged between the players. Most of them look disheartened. One by one, the other players around the table throw their cards out. All except the leopard. The dealer deals out some cards, and it's immediately clear who won just by looking at the leopard's face. Better luck next time. The leopard slams his paw on the table and gives Rue another long, threatening glare before storming out of the casino. Well then. There's an awkward tension at the table, with the rest of the players looking too stunned to speak. Rue suddenly turns to face me, catching me off guard. Say, so, fancy seeing you here. Didn't know you played poker. It's also the 4th time I've encountered you in one day. It's getting weird. Did he know I was watching him this whole time? No, I don't. I was just gonna say the same. I could teach you. That's okay. I'll have to pass up the offer. It looks pretty complicated. You say so? It's literally a card game. I'm sorry, I thought you thought I was hot. Do you not understand, like, the way forward here, or... You know, it's quite surprising to see you here. I thought you said you'd be busy in an hour before. I did. Don't worry about it. The wolf talks with the dealer at the table before getting up, making his way over. So what's up with that guy? The leopard? I beat their ass 3 rounds in a row. Poor guy didn't know when to quit. Ouch, they lost all their money? Who knows? That's just how it goes. That guy looked a bit sketchy, though. Aren't you worried that he'll do something malicious? Oh, right, we literally did spend all day at the doing the convention. I'm insane. I was like, didn't we just come? It's just because it wasn't very memorable. They're like, I looked around a while anyway. So I lost track a little bit for a second. No, not really. People like him don't scare me. Sure must be nice to be large and confident like him. I suppose so. I look at the pile of chips on Rue's side of the table. It's a lot of money. Gambling looks scary, but Rue makes it look easy and approachable. Rue notices me staring. It's not worth anything until I cash it in. Yeah, it's just... Wow, that's a lot of money. You must be really good at poker. That's how poker works. You have a skill at it and you draw better cards with your skill. Or maybe I'm just lucky. Or a cheater. He chuckles at me and I chuckle back, not wanting to seem awkward. Well, it was nice to see you again. I'm gonna go back to playing, maybe win a few more games. Don't gamble too hard out there. You, too. He gives me a reaffirming nod and sits back at the table. I want to tell Rue I'm not planning on gambling, but he's already playing another round. Maybe I should. I'm already here anyway. Maybe not poker. I don't know the rules too well. Something easier. Alright, I think this is where we're going to wrap up for today, because we're already well past an hour, but, bit of a slow start, but that's true for a lot of furry visual novels, but I genuinely am not sure what the plot is yet. I have so many vibes around this guy, where he extremely seems up to something, but I can't tell which parts are intentional or not. It feels like it's supposed to be, like I'm supposed to be thinking this is a thing, and something's up. But I don't know where it's going. So in the back of my mind, I've invented an entire narrative where this tech company is like flying too close to the sun and doing something dangerous, and that's changing the climate around the city, and that's what people are adapting to, and there's like, it's like so dangerous that people are almost dying in car crashes and so on. And Rue is here maybe to kill someone or steal something, like corporate espionage or a hitman or something, because he's got the big coat and everything, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? But it's also because they keep hinting at suspicious things, like they're specifically the cats in the elevator. I'm like, what does that mean? What's going on with those guys? And that retroactively makes the weirdly rude restaurant worker feel out of place too. We were like, what's going on with that guy then? Like, this feels like there's a series of things going on. But it's weird because, like, why would things be so outwardly suspicious in such a busy convention that people are going at? So I don't know what to piece together there. But something seems like it's up. But we're not going to quite get there today. If you want to check it out for yourself, you can check out the game via the link in the description. See y'all later. And also check out the playlist with all the other games I've covered. I've covered so many. This guy shows up. I started mashing a bit. This guy shows up and he's called Sketchy Cat. Sketchy Cat. He's literally sketchy. Oh my god, he wants money. Oh no. He asked for money and I said I didn't have money, and now he's attacking me for my money. This might be the guy who was chewing on my wallet earlier. Oh god. Oh no, and then Rue saved me, right? That's where this is going. Oh geez, I got him. The guy flying at least a few feet. I'm pretty sure I heard bones break too. Can you hear bones break? I've never heard a bone break. I don't know if that's a... Oh fuck, is he breathing? Oh god, are they okay? Did I really do this? Hey, what the hell's going on here? The security is here? Nope, it's that guy. You there. Okay, well we just got in a fight. Sorry, I got button mashy curious, where I'm like, I don't have time to read all of this live, but I'm like, where is this going? And Rue is here. You got attacked. Gasp. This guy does roars. He's a roaring bear. Clearly a skeleton user. Skeleton? I didn't think I've heard of that truck before. Wouldn't be good for business if people found out addicts were roaming around the hotel attacking patrons. Just like the last 2 times. Oh, he's an investigator? Are you a private investigator, a journalist, or a cop? You understand what I'm saying, right, Christopher? What are you getting at? How the hell do you know that? Doesn't matter. You know what does matter? That several people were hospitalized because of what happened. Hello. So there's a conspiracy going. Okay, we're building at something now. It just takes a while to get there. I've been mashing for a bit. Sorry. I know we've had pretty light-hearted interactions so far, so if you're uncomfortable coming to my room, I can explain it to you in the bathroom. A place with privacy. Famously, voices don't carry in a bathroom. His shirt coming off. Okay, we're getting a little spoilery here, but I'm getting to some meat in the time we have. Look at this! Look at all this conspiracy shit. City, harbor, and Gulf. Lone survivor emerges amidst vanishing crew. Happened 2 years ago? I think I remember reading something about this. Like the paper says, there was a chemical fire by the harbor a couple years ago. I'm here to investigate that, as well as some other things related to it. And you're doing this by yourself? Here, this is my employer. I work for ARC, a firm involved in a mix of investigative and intelligence work, amongst other things. Okay, so you're some kind of detective? Private investigator. I mean, hitmen and private investigators do give similar vibes. I wasn't that far off. So, why this case then? I'm not at liberty to share specifics. I'm simply here to gather information. Right, well then I guess this is starting to make a bit more sense. Anyway, glad I ran into you up there. Your little stunt almost blew my cover. What do you mean? I still don't understand why you did that. Why'd you cover for me back there? You fucked up that cat, plain and simple. No way you would... No, there's no way you would have avoided a trip to the station. Particularly with that hard-ass bear leading the charge. There's some venom in the way he said that. I guess, but how'd you know I was attacked? Did you see it happen? Actually, no, I didn't. Call it an educated guess. I noticed the cat prowling around the casino earlier. He moved towards my poker table, then veered away unexpectedly. Plus, you don't look like the violent type. You're soft. Sophisticated. Spot him. Hey, this isn't funny, you know. I was just attacked. I know, but you're fine, aren't you? I've seen plenty of guys your size, and I don't think any of them would have lost to someone like that. And what'd you do earlier? Punch him in the gut? No, I was pinned down, so I kicked him off me. Not bad. No, it is. I thought I almost killed someone. You can't kill someone with just a kick to the chest. Do not take this as medical advice. Fine, but what does this matter to you, though? Why did you cover for me back there? It does, and it doesn't. Look, I know you're smart. The police here are not your friend. You only go to them with minor, petty crimes, not assaults. My attention sharpens on him as I strive to comprehend the full implications of his words. I see. And why is that? Listen. I'm sure you remember the numerous instances of power abuse, corruption, and bribery over the past few years. Didn't I fly here? I'm not from here. Remember the Castleton incident last year? The rumor about the mayor hiring a hitman to kill his wife? I was that hitman.